Oracle. Microsoft is our gold partner when we talk about publishing business. And the project in which I'm working is academics, where we have created a portal uh, where we had uploaded the softwares, and only universities or students are allowed to buy any software from us through this website. Okay, on this
Okay.
website we have three modules. One is admin module, which is with us as in software one people. This is a product based company, so we are just giving people access to our cloud services and nothing much. So one is admin panel, which is with software one employees. Second is customer panel, which is with admin people from customer end or the university end. And third is user portal, which is our cloud service where any user can create their account and purchase the products on the basis of few criteria. So basically you can consider our application as a e-commerce domain, where a user can simply create a account just like as he is creating an account in Amazon, and then he can add to cart. We have add to cart functionality also. He can search the numbers of software which are available on our portal and can select any software and add it to the cart. So this is the third functionality is payment. Like once he add, all the backend checks and identity verification runs automatically, and last process is checkout and payment, so he can check out and do the payment. Softwares are free also, and they are the payment include. We have Wirecard uh, APIs for payment. So I guess that explains my project. And now when we talk about testing and technical point of view, we had developed our testing on BDD, behavior driven development, and we are using C sharp for test cases. So beside this, with this BDD SpecFlow codes, we are also using page object models so that to keep all the identities or all the selectors or locator of a single page in a util file, where everything can be found related to this page, the selector, the method, or the classes. Beside this, we had created a number of util files like for environment configuration. We need to select which environment this URL should route. Either it is on the customer portal, admin portal, or the user portal. Then we have this timeout or the loading util which manage the timeout. We have this base automation class which manage the your driver functionality, which browser and when it should be logged in. And there are the other configuration related files like for databases, like for uh, uh, like common variables that we need throughout our test cases.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that is what I explained. If you need anything, just let me know.
Please explain the POM approach.
Okay, in this page object model that we had created, it is basically for our page individually. So we as I explained, we have several pages. One is landing page, then the checkout page, payment page, verification pages, user profile pages. So we had created this page object model. For each page we had stored all the selectors in that page, and basically also all the drops, any text box or any buttons on that particular page stored, or the method is stored basically on this page. So whenever we had to, so this is how we to give you an example. Sorry, if we are on landing page, okay, so we
Okay.
create three files for this landing page. One is this landing page dot feature file, where we
Yes.
store all the BDD, the uh, spec flow codes. Then the next we have uh, an and the last we have this landing page dot cs, which mean where we had stored all the selected the methods related to this page, and in between this bdd and page file we have step file, which define which step we need to perform next, binding with this our spec flow. So that is how on this steps file we call this page and create an object of this page and call that particular method whenever we require. So for an example, if we talk about landing page, so very first thing we let's say we navigate to some www.academics.com. Academic is my name of my project, so academics.com. Then next step is we will wait for the page load, and on the third step we move to like click on this username box and then send key method where we provide a username as Aman, then password, and then button. So these are the three different methods, and we are calling these method in the steps file, which is sandwiched between a page file and a feature file. So that is how we are performing our test cases.
Okay, what are different keywords that you use in your feature file?
In feature file, we are using scenario, which define the name of the scenario. Then next is uh, when you navigate to this page,
Okay.
key, like when you navigate to this page and you provide the username and you provide the password, then you click the submit button. So
Okay.
four keywords that I had
I understand. Is
generally
that
using.
then, when, and something like that. Yeah. My question is, let us assume that you have a scenario and you had the test in your feature file. Okay.
Right.
You want to execute this scenario. Then how to execute this scenario with POM?
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm cleared regarding the question, but I will let you know my approach how we are doing this. So we had this feature file, as I mentioned, at the top of the layer, and
Okay.
the page object model, which is stored in the page files, and the steps file is sandwiched between this feature file and the page file. So we are using Visual in my local machine. I mean, I'm not we are using Azure DevOps for daily execution of test cases. And when I say on my local machine, we are using this Visual Studio, and in Visual Studio there is a different functionality where you can use this text explorer. This text explorer will categorize all the test cases basing on the name of the scenario we are using. So
Okay.
like on a feature file, if we have 5 scenarios, so it will write the name of this feature file, let's say Aman1, and 5 scenarios in it, like login, purchase, add to cart. So it will categorize all the test cases basing on the scenario name. So we are just now I'm not sure how it happens in Eclipse or with Jenkins, but in because Visual Studio is quite a good technology and they have this
Yeah.
text explorer, so we can directly run any text cases that we want to execute from this test explorer itself. We need not to go manually and provide some on
Yes.
command
Understand.
line. So
You are using C# with Selenium. That's why you are using Visual Studio.
right.
Now, one thing, just explain me how you fetch data from Excel or JSON into your project.
Okay. To be frank here, Anand, we are not using this test driven approach. So generally we do not need fetching any from Excel. We had all our data stored in the like features file. So whatever data we want, like a username, password, or maybe anything else, we are providing that data through this features files only
Yeah.
in this behavior development. So we are not using Excel file. But if you wanted to know how we can do something from Excel file and fetch something and use it,
No,
I'm
if you are
not
not
sure.
using it, then forget about it. Now my question is that, for example, you have to create a report and you have to send the time of every report in Excel sheet. Then what will you do?
Okay. With reports again. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood your question. So Anand, with reports again, as I mentioned, we are using Azure DevOps, and we are. Give me a sec. Let me think how to explain this. Uh,
Okay, take your time.
okay. So we had Anand used this Azure DevOps, uh, and on Azure DevOps, these reports we are our managers is they only need the report when any test case fail. So we are not any Excel sheet for any reporting, just this Azure DevOps, and my manager and everybody is also included a part of this Azure DevOps. So after daily execution, an email is sent to all the stakeholders, and they will get this report through
Yeah,
Azure DevOps
so
only. And
I
on
understand
Azure
this
DevOps,
thing.
I can sorry, Anand, still breaking. Can we connect
Oh,
on mobile phone, normal call, maybe?
please continue.
Bec-
And let's move to
Sorry.
the next question. Now let's move to the next question.
Okay.
How to validate color of it. Assume that you have an application. As you open that application, there is a tab having name submit. Okay, a button is there having name submit, and the color of the tab is red. Then
Mhm.
how would you validate the color of the tab?
Okay. So this is something I could do doing, or I can do with this Java executor. So with Java executor, I first fetch the color of this button or this tag that we are talking with. I can use any command like like I can use if it contains, and for the color, generally the parameter is color, so I can fetch this color and provide my input. Like if you say the color should be red, so I can compare this. After fetching this color from the front end, I can use a assert command to validate that the color that we are providing red is same as the color that we had fetch. So two
Okay,
commands with Java executor, I will fetch first and then assert it.
okay. And which method you will use
Uh,
to fetch the
Method. Yeah, okay. So XPath verify panels. Give me a sec. Uh, Find it in this. Hmm. I do not exactly remember this Java executor method for colors. It is something, background dot color something. I really forgot the exact method.
Okay, okay, not an issue. And write down this thing. And after this interview, please go through it.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. Next question is, what is HTML DOM?
HTML DOM. Okay, so this is the uh, HTML view of a page when we click on F12 on any browser. This HTML view of a page opens where they start with this HTML tag, body, headers, and then define the each tag like buttons and everything populated on this page. So everything is visible there step by step in HTML format. So I guess this is something we call it as HTML DOM.
Fine. Now, let's say that as you open your web application and you find it out that there is a comes over there. Okay. You just have
Sorry,
to,
what you said, you found out that?
as you a web application or any web, there is a pop-up comes over. Okay,
Okay.
then how you would find it out that it is iframe or an alert?
Okay.
The question is that you have to how you validate that this is a iframe or this is an alert.
You do not want to know how to switch to this alert. You wanted to know how are we gonna recognize this? It is a iframe or a alert, right?
Yes, my question is that.
Okay. So to recognize between iframe and alert, we can again use this DOM, and we can click F12 on any browser, and any iframe will have a iframe and its unique ID. The tag iframe will be there, and for alerts, a tag which is called as alert or pop-up will be there in the HTML codes of this website. So you can easily identify if it is a alert or it is a iframe.
That's it. Okay. How do you do load testing in Selenium? You just have to do the load testing with the help of Selenium. Then what steps you would take?
Load testing with the help of Selenium. No, Anand, I'm not sure. We had done this load testing through JMeter. If you could give me an hint, I might try, but I'm not sure how to do a load testing in Selenium.
Okay, with the help of test engine, we can do this.
Okay, and then we had not, as we are in the Microsoft framework or background, so we had not implemented this test ng. Besides, we have this N unit,
Okay.
which is similar to test ng. So I'm not sure how to do load
About
testing there.
REST API testing.
No, that is I mentioned that I do not know API testing much. The only thing about API testing I know is in my last previous organization, we are using SOAP UI to validate a few scenarios in our API. So that is the only thing I'm aware about the API testing. Not much involved in API testing.
Oh, my last question is explain your daily task. For example, you went to your office, start your work, how you spend your work in your office. What are the different steps and what are the different works you
Sure, Anand. So as my day start, I'm having some monitoring task with me. We are using SEQ. Old name is TFS, Microsoft TFS Server. Right now it's called as SEQ. My first job role is to monitor that everything is working fine on the production environment related to the users. Users were able to log in and can are also able to buy uh, softwares from us. Then second, we had some customized reports on SEQ. My task is to monitor all of them, like our servers are up and all the services. We have 18 services, so all the services are running as expected, like order import services, identity date services, 18 services. So next thing is to check all the services are running fine. Once I completed all these things, so I move. Okay, if I have any issue with this thing, then I just write an email to the proper service owner or the manager of the team when I do not know who is the owner of the service to look into the service or the issue to fix it. Second, my work is to uh, basically most of the time working into the automation, Selenium automation. So next thing every day, I check my Selenium automation report. If any test case failed, so very first thing is to fix the test case. Very first thing is to why it is failed. If it is a bug or some changes from the development team, then I create a bug in the VSTS, report it to
okay?
the development team, and if it is not something related to the development and it is something related to as a tester, we can fix, like sometime it is some timing improvements or sometime it is related to some selectors which start failing. So if it is something that we can fix, then my task is to move ahead and fix it. If it is
Okay.
not required to report it to the developer. Now moving to the third thing, this fix might take whole day. Sometimes, sometime it is easy fix and you can fix it in an hour, or sometime this fix, if I had to fix it, could take a day or 2 day. So let's say if it is fixed in an hour, so third task that I will usually do that on our Azure DevOps sprint planning, uh, every task are assigned to us, which is n-1 sprint basis. We are behind, just behind one sprint to our developers. So I just check those tasks and start with the automation of that particular task which are assigned to me. So creating a new test case is the third thing. This is my normal. Beside this, at around 1 p.m. In the noon, I'm having I'm involved in the two projects. So I'm having a daily scrum meeting for these two projects around 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. in between. So half
Okay.
an hour each for these meeting. And bi-weekly we are having this sprint review and sprint planning meetings of these projects. So this is something we are doing bi-weekly.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that will explain my typical day.